Hey guys, this is Amber Crum, and today I'm going to give you a Real Talk Q2 market update. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for a quick Q6 market update for 2026. This is just a quick screenshot of Bristol, Tennessee and Bristol, Virginia. The average days on market in Bristol, Tennessee is around 45 to 50 days, and the average sale price after the home is closed is around $240 to $260. For Bristol, Virginia, the average days on market is around 65 to 70 days, with that average price being around $214,000 to $220,000. In today's real estate world in Bristol, Tennessee and Bristol, Virginia, buyers are definitely more payment conscious than they have been for years. They're very selective, and they're just looking really closely at the condition of the home, the location, and if it's truly affordable for them. And you can still sell your home at a good price, but your presentation and your strategy do matter now more than ever. And we keep saying that, but it is so true. So what does this actually mean for sellers? If you're selling your home in the Tri-Cities area, what this means is that there really are active, pre-approved buyers making offers and closing on homes every single day. So don't believe the nonsense you're hearing on social media and on Reddit and in all of the groups claiming that no one can afford to buy a house. That's just not true. I help people every single day, people who are already living locally who just need to make a change. They're out there and they're ready to buy. So that's the good news. So the market is not dead. We're not seeing the buyers disappearing. People are still relocating, people are still resizing, and people are still having to move. It is happening. The sellers need to understand that buyers are just looking at things differently and more closely than they were a few years ago. Several years ago, they would overlook things because there just wasn't a lot out on the market and they had to make moves. But now the competition and the inventory is a little bit more intense. So their buyers are still interested, but they're more careful. Another important thing that sellers need to know is that negotiation is out there. It's not gone or something of the past. Even though the prices are still holding in many parts of this area, buyers are still asking for things like closing costs or repairs. They might need help buying down their rate or even other concessions. So they're going to negotiate. They're not going to just see your price and just offer that to you. So be open-minded and don't take it as an insult. They are trying to get the best deal and the cheapest house they can, just like you want to get the highest price for your home. So it's not any kind of an insult. This is just a business transaction and they want to get what's best for them just like you do. So real talk for sellers right now. The homes that are doing well are the ones that are priced correctly, cleaned up, they smell good, they're easy to show, they look good in the photos, and they're marketed properly. Presentation matters, and you keep hearing that over and over, but we're talking about the presentation when you get to the home and go in the home, not just what your pictures look like online. Before you list, you want to make your house look as good as possible because that's where the buyers are deciding if they even want to come see your house. If the first picture they see is not so pleasing to them, they're not even going to come view your home. But small things can make a difference. You hear it all the time from every real estate agent all over social media preaching, but you actually have to clean, declutter, freshen up. Check out your exterior, do a pressure wash, touch up your paint, make sure the rooms feel nice and bright and comforting, and handle any obvious repairs before you get on the market because then a buyer is going to see it and try to negotiate and get a lower price. So it's just going to save you money in the long run. All right, sellers, so the main takeaway here is you still have opportunity to sell your home and get a good price, but you need to plan. You need to make sure you're using an agent that has a plan and they're not out there just winging it and throwing out numbers or just listing it at whatever you want. That's not going to do it these days. Price it correctly from the beginning, make sure it shows well, make sure it's marketed well, and be realistic when the buyers give you feedback. Understand the first couple of weeks on the market are really important. That is when people see your home for the first time and make a decision. So make sure that decision is that your home is worth a view. For buyers, you're going to have a few more options and maybe have a little bit more negotiating room, but you still need to be prepared and ready with your pre-approval or proof of funds for when the right home comes along. Don't hesitate, know what you want, make a solid plan, don't rush, but take action. And for both sides, strategy does matter more than ever. So if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy a home in Bristol, Tennessee and the surrounding areas, you have a little bit more breathing room than you did a few years ago. There are more homes for you to look at in the same price range, and you might not feel quite as rushed every single day on every single property. You don't have to run out and immediately see every property, because there's a lot of them out there and you might have a little room to negotiate. There might still be some multiple offers, but definitely not many like there were a few years ago. So that's the good news for you if you're a buyer in this market. But do not misunderstand me when I say That more inventory does not mean every seller is desperate. It doesn't mean every seller is going to negotiate with you. And it also does not mean you can wait forever if you find a good house at a good price, especially if it's perfect for you and your family. The best homes are the ones that are priced well and in good condition in a desirable location, depending on what you're looking for. These can still move quickly and they might still have multiple offers, especially when you're looking out there. If you see it and you think it's the best one, probably other buyers think that too. So you can't sit around for 3 weeks waiting to see if the price drops. If this is the house you want, you need to act and be ready. And we hear it over and over again, but as a buyer, you have to be prepared in this market. You should always be prepared anytime you're trying to go look at houses and make an offer, but you need to seriously know your numbers. You need to have a lender that's willing to talk you through each scenario, and you need to know more than just the number that's on your pre-approval. You need to know what that number really means. How much is your monthly payment, and are you willing and prepared and able to pay that monthly payment every month? So it's a big decision and a lot of commitment. You need to be speaking with a trusted lender that's local, that knows our area, and that can actually sit and speak with you and understand your story and your situation to help you actually prepare, because there's a lot more than just your pre-approval number or the overall purchase price. When you're buying a home, there's lots of things. I talk about it in a lot of other videos, but there are things like HOA fees, there are your insurance. There's a lot of other fees that come along with buying a home. So those are just two. You want to be prepared and know what it all entails and make sure you can truly afford the overall picture. So the buyers that are doing well right now are not necessarily ones that are rushing, but ones who are ready and prepared. They have their pre-approval, they have a plan, they've talked with the lender, they understand their budget and the process. They know what they must have in a home versus just things that are nice to have. And they completely understand what's going to happen once they make an offer and how to do that. So you want to get ready and prepared, and this will help you so that when you do find the home that you love, you are ready to pull the trigger, because if you're not, I can guarantee you another buyer will be. Another thing about this market that people often misunderstand is that a house that's been on the market for 60 or 100 or even 150 days is different than a home that hit the market yesterday and has multiple showings. So buyers need to understand local guidance and strategy for each specific property. There's not a generalized plan for everything. If you're thinking about offering, you want to have a plan for that house. So if the house has been on the market a really long time, that's a different plan than if the home just hit the market. That's why it's important to work with people that are local, that actually do have experience, and I'm happy to help you in that area. So a little takeaway for Q2 so far. The Tri-City market's pretty steady. It's not frozen, it's not crashing, and it's not the wild market we had back in the wild, wild west a few years ago. It's a little more balanced and more thoughtful. For sellers, you can still sell successfully and get a high price, but you need to price properly and prepare correctly. For buyers, you're going to have a few more options and maybe have a little bit more negotiating room, but you still need to be prepared and ready with your pre-approval or proof of funds for when the right home comes along. Don't hesitate, know what you want, make a solid plan, don't rush, but take action. And for both sides, strategy does matter more than ever. Thank you so much for joining me for the Q2 update for 2026. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia, or anywhere around the Tri-Cities area of Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, and all the surrounding areas, I'd love to help you understand what this market means for your specific situation. I'd love to hear your story. I'm a licensed realtor in both states and can help you on either side of the state line. I have a lot of links below with buyer's guides and different seller's guides and a lot of different freebies that you can get with my links. You can also schedule a consult, which is totally free, and I would love to hear your story and try to help you make a strategic plan for your future. Talk to you soon. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can see more. Talk to you soon.